Hello everyone, and welcome back to Press A for ESL. I'm Jasmine, and I'm bringing you Level Up Your Grammar. So today's focus is a modal. We're not talking about modals in general, we're going to focus on one specific modal. And I want you to guess which modal we're talking about from the clip from Delicious in Dungeon. So let's take a look.
Maybe the curse on this place won't let him.
You okay there, Marcel?
Yeah, my foot got stuck on a plank.
We've been walking a while now. We should rest. Let's find a place to set up camp and get some sleep.
Okay, did you catch the modal from the clip? So the modal we are focusing on is what Laya said. We should rest. So we're focusing on the modal should today. So what is the modal should? Now, before we talk about the modal should, let's talk about modals in general. So modals are helping verbs used with the base form of a main verb to express things like possibility, advice, necessity, or ability. Now, the modal should has a few uses that we're going to discuss, but it's mainly used to give advice, make suggestions, or talk about expected outcomes. Now, to form the structure for the modal should, it's subject plus should plus base verb of the main verb. Now, we'll break down each use of should in the following slides so you understand how it's used in context and how it changes the meaning of the sentence. So let's break it down. So the first use of should that we're talking about is the one that's most common, which is advice or recommendation. Now, we use should to give advice or suggest the right thing to do. So for example, students should review their notes regularly. This is my advice and recommendation for students, and I'm also giving it to you guys too. Now, the second most common one is expectation or likely outcome. So we use should to express that something is likely or expected to happen. So for example, the train should arrive at 6 p.m. Now notice the difference in meaning. So the first one, students should review their notes regularly. This is recommendation. But here, the train should arrive at 6 p.m. I'm expressing my expectation. So even though they are the same word, you have to look at the entire sentence to understand which use of should is being used. Okay, now our third one is obligation or duty, and this is mild. So in modals, there are a level or a degree that shows obligation or duty, and should falls in the mild. Our third use of should is obligation or duty, and I want you to look at the word mild. Now, other modals also express a similar meaning, but the degree is either stronger or weaker. And in this case, for should, it's kind of in the middle area. So we use should to express what is morally right or expected, kind of like the general agreement on how people should act, for example. So people should be kind to each other. This is what everyone has agreed upon, right? Like as human beings. So that's what it means by obligation or duty in morally right or expected way. Now, we do have a few more uses of should, which are the following: regret or criticism of the past. Now, this one does have a bit different structure compared to the other should uses. So remember, should is formed subject plus should plus main verb in the base form. Now, this one's formed with should have plus past participle to talk about actions that didn't happen or were wrong. So for example, we should have left earlier. This is expressing regret or criticism about us being late now because we didn't leave earlier than... Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now this one has a different structure compared to the other uses of should. So remember, it's subject plus should plus base form of the main verb. Now for this structure, we use should have plus past participle to talk about past actions that didn't happen or we were wrong about. So for example, we should have left earlier is expressing regret, like, man, now we're late because we didn't leave early enough. So we use it in this case. Okay, Our last use of should is suggestions and hypothetical situations. Now, the word hypothetical, I will have word of the day short on my YouTube page, so please take a look at that in the future if you want to know what the word hypothetical means. But anyway, we use this should in more formal or conditional sentences. So for example, if you should need help, let me know. Now this sentence is very formal and you might hear this when you're a customer or you're working with a business, for example. Usually we'll just say, if you need help, let me know. Okay, let's break down our clip and see if you guys can guess what use of should Lias was expressing in our example. So remember, Lias said we should rest. So of those 5, which one do you think it was? Okay, let's see. It's a suggestion and advice for now or soon. Because remember, in that context, Marcel tripped on a plank on the bridge. And so he's like, ooh, we've been walking a while, we should rest. So he's giving a suggestion to his group to take a break. Okay, now this one was a little bit short, so I do have another clip for you guys, and we're going to try to guess which use of should it is. So let's take a look.
I know, you have a point.
But this is a dungeon, so it might have dire ducks with man-eating green onions. Now there's something fun and tasty.
I don't share your optimism for it.
Well, this time of year, there's plenty of nuts and fruits around.
What? There are? Aha! A man-eating fruit plant! I should have known!
Actually,
So, of the 5, which one is it? Because remember, Marcel says, I should have known. Look at the structure. That's my hint. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's expressing regret. Should have plus past participle. Because she's like, you know, these people, Senshi, he loves eating dungeon monsters. Man, she's regretting herself. It's like, dang it. Okay, I hope that helped understand the 5 different uses of should, because we are going to have our bonus challenge, and I hope you're ready. Okay, as usual, our bonus challenge will have 3 questions, and now the first one is identify the use. So he should be home by now. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you say obligation or duty? Well, that's boo 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 because it's expectation. So for example, maybe he left the grocery store and heading to your home. Since you go to that same grocery store and let's say it's been 20 minutes, you're like, oh yeah, he should be home by now because that's how long it takes me to get home. Okay, now the second one's also identify the use. I shouldn't have said that to her. So you have, again, 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you say advice? That is boop, 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 boop. It's regret. Again, remember, shouldn't have. So that should and have and said. So that's the structure for the regret or criticism. Okay, last one is going to be a little bit more difficult. Maybe, because I think you guys are doing good. For this one, you're going to write a sentence giving advice to someone studying English, but I want you to add the modal should. So we're practicing the use of advice or recommendations to someone. So put your sentences in the comments below so everyone can have all this wonderful advice. All right, let's do a quick review before we say goodbye. So remember, should is a modal verb mainly used to give advice, make suggestions, or talk about expected outcomes. Now, there are 5 uses of should, but the most common is advice or recommendation. But since there are so many uses of should, you want to look at the meaning of the whole sentence carefully to understand which should is being used. All right, I hope everyone has got that, but if you do need a review, just watch the video from the beginning. But otherwise, thank you so much for embarking on this grammar adventure. Your hard work's paid off and you just earned 10 experience points.